Hello everyone, welcome to today's meditation practice, the sacred emotion of the self. I used this title for the meditation practice to refer to something that's the essence or the foundation of who and what we are, and that's self. So whether growing in wholeness, we might use language of self-realization, whether growing in wholeness is a union with a higher power, whether becoming fully what we are is of some other language or concept, there is something about the process that uses the word self in the largest sense, the individual self and the universal self. So take the wording lightly. And I wanted to situate the word emotion as an important part, a foundational part of this process of growing in wholeness. For understandable reasons, humanity has really wrestled with the place that emotion plays in the process of this self-realization. Why? Because emotions are very unpredictable. Emotions are oftentimes the fruit of what is unseen versus what is seen, like an impelling movement to strike out could come from a deeper wounded place within the self. But emotion is also an incredibly powerful part of what it means to be fully human and fully divine, in my perspective. Because emotion is the stirring and the movement that draws us, impels us, compels us, propels us. It's part of the process of what it's like to be juicy as a human being, and especially juicy as one coming into the fullness of being, to live with great passion, to recognize that when our individual desire is part of the God's desire or the universal desire, that we live pouring ourselves and expressing. The word emotion seems to date back to about the 13th century from the Latin emovere, which means to move out, or to move through. Over these generations of the human beings being in existence, oftentimes we have coupled our action with emotion in such a way that has not been super helpful to ourselves and others. But stifling the very part of this nature can do just as much damage and destruction as acting on emotions coming from wounded parts of the self. So modern psychology has shown us that to be able to allow emotions to come forward can flag where we can focus our attention, where we can look internally to see what may need healing, what may need greater affirmation and nurturing. I would like today in this practice, instead of using emotion to get us somewhere in our understanding, to simply honor the sacredness of emotion. That's what today's practice is, to simply honor the sacredness of the emotion that you have within your very being. So I'd like you to go ahead and put this recording on pause right after I give this instruction. So you're going to put this recording on pause and you're going to write down, you can use your phone, use a piece of paper, all sorts of words that are emotion words: joy, sorrow, love, desire, agitation, anger, disappointment, discouragement, jubilation, bliss. just go ahead and take a moment or two and go write as many words that are emotions that you can think of. And it's okay if you only think of a couple, if you're not able to get your brain working. But list as many as you possibly can. All right, put the recording on pause now. And when you're done, turn the recording back on. All right, welcome back. So now I'd like you to do a secondary exercise, but keep the recording on. I want you to look at the list that you made, and I would like you to spontaneously key in on one or a couple of these emotions that you feel right now. And go ahead and circle them. Again, it can just be one, it could be maybe not more than 3, but circle 1, 2, or 3 emotions that you are feeling right now. All right, now set your pen or pencil down and get yourself ready for our meditation practice. I invite you to close your eyes. And in closing the eyes, bring the awareness to your heart and your heart chakra. And while emotion is carried within your whole self, the heart has become a symbol for this feeling part of our nature. So we'll use the heart as that symbol. And be present with your heart. As you are present with the heart cavity, whether it's the physical or energetic heart, see therein the emotions that you circled. And allow this emotion or emotions to be held with a certain tenderness within the heart. And now place the left hand right on the center of the chest, the heart chakra. The whole hand, palm, fingertips pressed upon the center of your chest, very tenderly and lightly. And with the presence of this hand, there is a presence of unconditional care. Allow the emotions to move within your whole body. Notice where they are most strongly. Maybe in your shoulder, or your nose, or your left thigh, or your hips. Just let the emotions that you identify that are within you strong right now. Notice how they move and where they move within the body. Notice what sense or texture goes with the emotions. Is there heaviness, lightness, warmth, cool? Are there colors? Are there images? Notice if there is something for you to recognize that the emotions are moving about. What's the undercurrent of the emoting that's happening? Let this come forward not from your mind figuring it out, but from what the emotion wants to reveal to you. And as we begin to end this practice today, speak to these emotions. Make some sort of promise or commitment to honor them and to allow them to feel that they are presenced with unconditional acceptance. And secondarily, offer gratitude for them, for each one, for how they make up who and what you are. And with that, bring the right hand to rest over the left, upon the chest. And as we bring this practice to a close, bow ever so slightly to the sacredness of your own emotion. And when you are ready, open your eyes.